All right, everybody. Welcome back to the NBA Fantasy Salary Cap edition. It is game day 2 of game week 4. We've had a thriller of the first 3 game weeks, and actually, based on the figures, the viewership figures of the NBA, the first 3 weeks have been the best. They're actually on a high. I forget the number, but the viewership is actually up, and the players are good, which goes to show that some of the people that have not been playing should actually not play. The likes of LeBron James. LeBron should just stay away. The Lakers have it from here. And speaking of LeBron, I had to make a move when I got wind of the news that LeBron is almost coming back. So I had to let go of all my Laker chips, and the one that I had left was, of course, Reeves. So I had to make a late transfer right there. So I got rid of Reeves, and you will be seeing the guy that I brought in. All right, so let's jump into this. So today, game week 2, I managed to score 172 points, above the average of 117, which is a good start to the game week. So how were the games? Of course, we look at the first game that kicked us off, of course, was Toronto Raptors taking on Brooklyn Nets, the New York boys. But they ended up losing that one to the Toronto Raptors. And of course, the likes of Brandon Ingram scoring 25 points in the game. Claxton scoring 21. The other side, Michael Porter Jr. kind of cools down after having a run of some of the best games he has had since his Denver Nuggets days. So he scored 21 in the game, scoring 36 right there and 6 rebounds for himself in the game. Brandon Ingram scored 25 and, of course, a total of 44 fantasy points right there for him. And the Toronto Raptors, Emmanuel Quickly, scoring 48, 24 in the game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists right there. Then Scotty Barnes scoring 42 fantasy points right there and a double-double, 15 points in the game and 11 rebounds. Actually, I was looking at the triple-double scores, and there are just 3 players that actually have triple-doubles this season. Just 3. Can you guess who those are? Of course, there's always the triple-double king, the greatest player as we speak. That's Nikola Jokić, number 1. Then Josh Giddey, you remember, he also grabbed the triple-double. And of course, finally, Julius Randle right there. Then, of course, there are others, but those are the 3 that I can remember. So there are not so many, but there are a considerable number of players right there to consider who have had triple doubles. All right, then RJ Barrett scored 29 fantasy points, scoring 13 in the game. I think I have the highlights of this one, and here we go.
Expansion this season for Claxton. Shot clock down to 2. The Omen is open and connects on a 3. Clowney, after the team rebounding effort, comes away with it.
So this is early in the game, in the first half. So I won't skip a bit. It's the first quarter.
Quickly buries the 3. Manuel Quickly had gotten off to a really rough start, but kind of broke out of it. They hit one good. 26.5% from 3 entering this game. Powell lobbing it up.
Claxton
Turning to Aaron Harris, a wonderful head of PR. Feels like
RJ Barrett to
Scotty
Scotty.
Barnes finishes.
Basket.
Ruko Sarakustock make a triple with you. Wilson had it poked away.
Rejection. That's Dickey.
Here's Barrett
Scotty.
through traffic
Basket.
for the finish plus the foul.
RJ right there.
It was
So
hilarious.
this is the
Now,
second
Nets players are
quarter.
super young. Obviously, music can be timeless. But the most
Dickey
adorable
was actually
response
very good last
for people
season.
trying to
He
complete
played
the
so
lyrics is
well
Powell hits a three.
while his team was struggling with injuries. It's actually a very good shot
Kicks
shooter.
it out. Wilson.
It is
Connects.
shoots from range.
Not a three.
So it doesn't much
example of
in
how
this
he's been
one.
seeing
So
the
this
floor,
is
the way
towards
he's
the
been
end of
passing
the
and
second.
facilitating all of those
That's
little
Scotty.
things.
Basket. Alright, so let's jump into the third quarter.
Nick Claxton, what a play.
Claxton had a
Dennis
good game,
Jenkins, as we
which
talked
is
about from St.
rare.
John's the
It's
other
a
night. He
rare
had a
sighting
big
of Claxton
Iona
right
St.
there. Of
John's
course, he
would
scored
yeah,
20,
big three-point shot,
21 in the
overtime.
game.
That's
That's
right. As
Dickey.
Brady slides it in.
Dickey right there.
Well, yeah,
Ready.
that's
Ready
normally my
Dickey.
job.
He scored 13 in this
And
one.
holiday parties.
That's Photo, their center,
5
scoring
seconds
12
left
in
in the
the game.
Barrett, 2 seconds.
RJ,
Chad at the
basket on the buzzer. So this is in the third quarter. So we started the fourth now.
Toronto now on an extended 8-0 run that ends there.
Then of
Able to
course,
navigate.
just skipping to the final 5 minutes. This is Emmanuel Quickly
Quickly step
from
back.
range,
You bet.
basket. Emmanuel Quickly,
Emmanuel
of course,
Quickly.
scored 24 in the game,
Barnes tosses.
which is a
Ingram
total
extra
of
feed. Quickly
48
looking for
fantasy
it.
points.
Not
That's
that
Quickly
time.
from range.
Barrett,
RJ with the
offensive
rebound
and the
and one.
putback.
Oh, he didn't get the and one
Back
right
with the
there.
team day, Rod Sharp out
It's
with
RJ.
a glute contusion today, just day to day.
RJ is cooking. Avdia trying to cover him.
As Barrett swivels in, lays it home.
Looks like
Since the
Avdia.
start of the 15-16 season, Milwaukee the only Eastern Conference team with a better record
So
against
this is
Brooklyn.
just 1 minute to the
In
end.
the corner, that
It was
three
already
won't
too
go
little too late.
for
So that
Etienne.
is how that one ended. So let's go to the next game. So the next game, of course, was Memphis Grizzlies taking on and the New York Knicks, and of course, the New York Knicks managed to grab yet another win. Brunson comes back after cooling down in the previous game. He's now back to his 50-point ways. So he scores 57 fantasy points in this one, scoring 32 in the game and the double-double, 10 assists for Brunson right there. Then, of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. scoring 31 fantasy points, 19 in the game for the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant not having quite a good season for himself, just scoring 16 in this one. A double-double, though, with 10 assists and a total of 39 fantasy points right there for Ja Morant. The other player I'm looking out for, of course, is Kyle Anthony Towns. Wow. Kyle Anthony Towns managed to score 57 fantasy points, 21 points in the game, and a double-double, 13 rebounds for himself right there. So a look at these highlights as well. Nothing significant, but there they are. Of course, they had some of the best. That's Ja trying to cook, and it's taking a while to get heated, but of course he played well because he managed to get a double-double in this one. Yeah, that's 16 points in the game, and of course 10 assists right there. So this is Jalen Brunson. Jalen dropped 32 in this one. Passes to Mikal Bridges. This is Anunoby. OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby. That's him right there. Very, very good player. Managed to score 32 fantasy points in this one, 16 in the game. This is the first quarter. So we're going to skip. That's from downtown. Brian. That is him. Brunson right there. Okay, it's freezing for some reason. So let me see. Okay, let's give it some time. Look, I've added a couple of games, but I was hoping because the other one I only managed to put 3 highlights for you, but this time around I was hoping to get a bit more. But it looks like it's overwhelming my computer. And I will eventually get the hang of it and know what actually slows it down, which I don't understand at the moment. So maybe we shall get back to the highlights once it gets back to its processing ways. So the other game, of course, was the defending champions taking on the Golden State Warriors. And of course, Steph Curry came back, managed to score 15 fantasy points. Wow. That's 11 in the game. That's why I keep telling you guys, the NBA has moved on from these guys. Yeah, they will have an occasional good game, but they're just too expensive for nothing. I do not know why Steph Curry would cost 15 million, yet he's always out. Even when he's in the game, he has to score like a 50-point game for him to earn 50-point fantasy points, which is rare, really, really rare. But anyway, he's back, but of course he could not withstand the might of OKC. So right there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropping 28 in the game and 67 fantasy points right there for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So he also managed to get a double-double. That's with 11 assists right there for himself. Chet Holmgren, 41 fantasy points in the game against Golden State Warriors, scoring 23 points in the game and a double-double, 11 assists for himself. Right there, Isaiah Joe, 21 fantasy points right there, scoring 18 in the game. Another player I want to look out for, Wallace. Wallace has a considerable number of steals, but in this one, this is the first game or the second game he has not made a steal. So I think he's coming back down. Of course, you know who's going to lead that by the end of the season. That's Dyson Daniels in the Atlanta Hawks. He's actually very good. Then AJ Mitchell, I have him in my squad, managed to drop 30 fantasy points, scoring 17 in the game, consistent, which is good, but a bit low for his standards. Then, of course, a look at the Golden State Warriors. That's Jonathan Kuminga, scoring 27. I got rid of him at the right time. He was slowing down, losing some steam. He started well, but he's a bit slowing down. So managed to score 13 and, of course, 27 fantasy points right there. It's as if they knew they were going to lose this one. I don't know why Gerard Butler is stuck in my head. But I like his movies, though. How to Train a Dragon, right there. One of the best he has done. All right, so that 28 right there for Jimmy Butler, scoring 12 fantasy points in the game. I have those highlights for you. This is the Golden State Warriors right there. OKC, they were wearing the black jersey. This jersey was actually nice. I was hoping to get it. Okay, still freezing though. We cannot show this. All right, so let's just go back to the games. Still freezing right there, so I'm gonna give it a considerable amount of rest. Porzingis, of course, minutes reduced with the return of Steph Curry, so he managed to get 25 points, which was even better than Steph. 10 in the game for him right there. Then, of course, we had the game of the night. This was Boston Celtics taking on Philly. Wow. Just decided by 2 points. Wow, this was something else. So Justin Edwards, this is the kid that I was considering to bring in, but his consistency is off, so I'm not going to bring him in. So he managed to score 34 fantasy points, scoring 22 in the game. Again, of course, Tyrese Maxey, still consistently high, Okay, so I did make a change. I brought in Tyrese Maxey in my team for Reeves. Managed to get me 21 points and 9 assists and 5 rebounds right there, which is a total of 47 fantasy points from Tyrese Maxey. I brought him in because he was scoring highly and his cost is low. But unfortunately, he has been surpassed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who managed to beat the Golden State Warriors. I think I have the analytics right there, as you can see. Giannis Antetokounmpo still maintains his lead with 33.4 points per game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just passed Tyrese Maxey, which moved him up into second place with 32.8 fantasy points. I'm sorry, not fantasy points. These are actual NBA points in per game. 32.8 NBA points per game. Tyrese Maxey scoring 32.1 points per game right there. Still holds the third spot, but of course he dropped from... actually, he was the first at the beginning of the season, but he's gradually dropping as, of course, other people take over. Donovan Mitchell right there in fourth place, 30.4. Austin Reeves, I got rid of him when I caught wind of the news that LeBron is actually playing in the G League and is almost returning, so he's just going to mess up the chemistry of the Lakers. Yeah, you can go ahead and get him. He knows how to start pad, but I won't be getting him. Yeah, and he makes the game terrible for the Lakers so far. They even stopped watching the Laker games. But anyway, he's on his way back. He's apparently training in the G League. That's what the coach said. And he's almost returning. Devin Booker right there in sixth place. Larry Marketing, who was also looming among the top three, is now in seventh place with 28.3 points per game right there. So back in the game, of course, we saw Quentin Grimes scoring 35 fantasy points right there, and of course 18 in this one. I am looking for Edgecombe. Edgecombe scored 21 fantasy points, 6 points in the game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and of course 2 steals right there for Edgecombe. He's a bit down, and of course if he wants to stay up, he better pick up. Then on the other side, Jaylen Brown right there scoring a total of 40 points, and of course 24 points in the game right there for him. Yeah, so they ended up losing it. It was close. So let me see if the highlights can show this time around. This is Boston, Philly. All right, this is better. Let's hope we can get through this one. That's Boston, Philly, of course.
To me, that's where Maxey game has taken another
Sorry, these are
level.
the 70. Yeah, Boston
To
76.
distribute the
Yes.
basketball as he gets into the paint.
Derek White looks for that lob for Keita inside, but instead it was closed off, so White.
This season from the Celtics, offensive rebounding.
That's the race from downtown. Right there. Maxey scored 21 in the game. Derek White from the corner. Basket. Boston roaring right there. That's Brown with the ball. Jaylen crossover. Nice pass. Keita scored 8 in this one. That's Edgecombe, the new boy on the block. Maxey, Draymond, Maxey. That's Edward right there.
He's got to deal with the size of Watford down low.
Oubre with a rebound right there for himself. This is the first quarter, so we're going to jump to the second quarter. Okay, so this is the end of the second quarter. Towards the end, Draymond managed to get 14 points. He's actually aggressive in the paint. I like him for that. He will fight for those rebounds. So this is towards the end. This is Brown looking for White.
Double comes to get it out of Jalen's hands. Walsh will take it and throw it down.
All right.
1.2. Drummond, why not?
So this was the half time. Then, of course, they moved to the third quarter. It was close neck and neck all the way. Crosses the half court. That's Brown, Jalen Brown with a mid-range basket. So this gives them the lead, gives Boston the lead.
Especially like to the stars.
Here comes
Maxi from long range, basket. Maxi with 21, which is actually low by his standards. The points he has scored, he normally averages 30 and above. But of course, this low score you saw made him get surpassed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for second spot, and leaves Tyrese Maxey at 32.1 points per game average. And of course, Shai surpasses him with 34.3 points per game. That's VJ H-Cobb from long range right there. Quinton Grimes at the buzzer, basket from the center. This game was on fire. So this is the fourth quarter now. This is the fourth quarter. It was neck and neck all the way. Neck and neck all the way. I like that they have jailed well with BJ H-Com. That's from downtown right there, Simmons. Tyrese Maxey cooking. Draymond, basket. Drummond. Okay, so this is 6 on the clock, 6 minutes. This is in the fourth quarter. That's H-Com with the block. Was that a block or a disruption or something by DJ H-Com? Nice assist right there. Wow. I like this team. Philly is playing well. It's just that they are losing their way, but they are playing well. So this is 4 minutes on the clock. 92-90. DJ H-Com, basket. DJ H-Com right there. Because H-Com didn't score highly in this one, managed to get only 6 points in this one, but he did contribute in the other places. That's Brown doing his thing with his 24 points on the night. So this is 4 minutes on the clock. That's Tyrese Maxey trying to wheel his team to the win. All right. This is VJ, gives it back to Tyrese. Tyrese with a turn, is still almost. VJ H-Com from long range. Basket. There he is, the young boy, the rookie. All right. So Philly still with the lead, 4-point lead. White, Derek reduces it to 1-point lead right there. This is 1 minute on the clock. It's tied to 100 with just 1 minute. That's Tyrese Maxey cooking. Looks for... Oh, nice rebound by Oubre. That should be an and one. But it was too little, too late. This is 8 on the clock. This is 8 on the clock. They should have just gone in. Oh no, we dropped the ball. Wow. And that's how the cookie crumbles, as they say. All right, so those were the highlights in that game. It was a neck and neck game, and of course came down to the final shot of the game, which saw that Philly maintain the lead and then of course ultimately win that one. Then of course we had Indiana Pacers taking on Utah. Indiana Pacers, of course, Pascal Siakam trying to will his team, but of course Larry McAdoo would not allow. So Pascal Siakam scored 43 fantasy points in that one, scoring 27 points in the game. Larry McAdoo coming back, trying to will Utah to its winning ways. So they managed to score 35 in the game. And of course, 45 fantasy points right there. Before we go to the final game, I think let's look at the table standings, especially after tonight's games. Of course, in the West, of course, Cade Cunningham is beginning to. There's a new king on the throne. That's King Cade, with the Detroit Pistons ruling the Western Conference. There, they are 9-2, and they are seated comfortably at the top. New York Knicks, after their win, of course, brought them to the second place. They are 7-3. Miami Heat 7-4. Cleveland Cavaliers 7-4. Milwaukee Bucks 7-4 as well. While all those teams from third to sixth, they are all 7-4. Of course, Phillies win gave them the edge to get closer. And of course, Chicago 6-4 as well. Toronto Raptors. Actually, the Eastern Conference is more competitive than the West. No, the West is still more competitive. These guys are losing way more. But of course, the West is more competitive. Then at the bottom, Indiana Pacers and of course, Washington Wizards as well. They are languishing. They just have 1 win together with the Brooklyn Nets. They have lost 10 and they just have 1 win. Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers, and Washington Wizards. Then, of course, in the Western Conference, we see Oklahoma City Thunders is still leading, and leading by margin right there. They're 11-1. Then San Antonio Spurs, we saw last night, that boy, the anomaly, trying to wheel his team to the lead. Wemby, the myth, scoring 8-2 for San Antonio Spurs. Then, of course, we saw Denver Nuggets equaling them as well after tonight's game. We shall look at those highlights. Scoring 8-2. Luka and the Lakers, they are fourth at the moment, 8-3. But the sad news is that LeBron is almost coming back. He will definitely mess up the chemistry of that team. Houston Rockets 6-3, Minnesota Timberwolves 7-4, Phoenix Suns 6-5, Portland Trail Blazers 5-5, Golden State Warriors 6-6, and Utah. Then at the bottom is of course New Orleans Pelicans and of course Dallas Mavericks, who are struggling. They actually sacked Nico. Remember the chants "Fire Nico, Fire Nico" that were going around the arena, and of course he was definitely going to go. That was a terrible transfer, a terrible move to get rid of. Wow, to get rid of Doncic. It was just a terrible move. He was actually playing his final card, and of course it didn't work out. They are struggling and things are falling apart in Dallas right there. So a return to the games. Okay, so Denver Nuggets right there. Of course, we see Nikola Jokić scoring 70 fantasy points. Now, the current average of Nikola Jokić is actually 70 fantasy points in the fantasy league. He's averaging 70 fantasy points per game right there, which is very good. Scoring 37 in this one, and a double for him, 3 assists shy of a triple-double, scoring 15 rebounds right there for himself and the Denver Nuggets. Murray, there was a rare sighting of him. He's on and off, inconsistent, but yeah, he did show up this time round, scoring 23 and a total of 42 fantasy points. Then Aaron Gordon as well, 17 in the game, fantasy points 30 right there for the Denver Nuggets. I think I have the highlights of this one. Let's see if we can pull them up. Yep, here we go.
Those 2 games with a rib injury, played the other night, but was in
Demonte Sabonis, Ruda, the German. Demonte with his mid-range, he has that mastered. like the back of his hand. So he opened the scoring for the game. This is Nikola Jokić. To Murray. Back to Nikola. He has his mid-range as well. So both Nikola and Domantas Sabonis opened the scoring in this one.
It's a Jokić pass. Call it that. Cam Johnson up.
That's
For the
Cam Johnson, the new kid.
Did not move much back in the day, by the way.
The Rosen Domantas Sabonis baskets. So this is the first quarter. Domantas Sabonis trying a three. Wow. He actually scored 19 in this one, which was very, very good. He scored 19 points with a total of 35 fantasy points. He also managed to get 8 rebounds in the game. This is Dante Sabonis. Okay, that's Murray. Murray dropped 23 in this one, which was very good and a rare sighting. Actually, you will see them let Dante Sabonis shoot those threes. Okay, so we're going to jump into the second quarter for this one. That's Murray from long range. Aaron Gordon with the rebound right there. Okay, so this is the second quarter. Wow, this is another guy, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook had a resurgence, and actually in this one he managed to score 14 points, and he's actually averaging 40 points. If you can't get Russell, this is the best time to get him. He's actually 8.5. His salary is just 8.5 million. So if you can get him, I think he would be a good addition to your squad. That's Aaron Gordon fighting for an and one right there. It wasn't given to him. That's Eubanks. Aaron Gordon's with some free throws right there. Cam Johnson with a rebound, with a steal, as a matter of fact. This is Nikola Jokić, will not be denied, all the way to the rim.
He can quiet any storm.
He tends to do that. He does. 8 of 9 from the
Because Nikola dropped 35 in this one. Not his usual triple-double. Just fell shy by just 3 assists to make a triple-double. So this is the third quarter.
In the first half, and the Nuggets with the possession to open up.
That's Murray with his mid-range basket. This is the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. This up to this point, of course, it was still on. They were still in. This is the third quarter. But of course, Nikola Jokić pushed his team, and they made sure to put this to bed. This is Nikola Jokić being aggressive.
Gets it from Gordon, unstoppable. This man.
Okay, this is Russell Westbrook. You know, he's the old boy. He was actually beloved in Denver. They did like him. It's just that he was making some rookie moves right there. Remember, there is a layup, a sitter that he had. He just missed it. That's like, what? So Valence Units is in. Nikola Jokić is taking the rest. Actually, you remember the non-Nikola Jokić minutes are no more. Because Valence Units is actually doing his thing. He's actually a starter, an NBA starter. But he's here to win. And this is very, very aggressive. Very good center. Which I do believe was a very good addition to the Denver Nuggets. They really do have a chance this season, I do believe. As long as Murray and Gordon stay fit, we do have a chance. It's going to be tough though, because of course we know Nikola Jokić has not played with any All-Star his entire career, and of course he's loyal. So this is Schroeder. So this is 7 minutes into the first. This is a steal by Brown. Brown right there with points for Denver Nuggets. So I'm going to skip towards the final 5 minutes of the game, but you could see that here they are running away. They actually losing. Is it that Nikola didn't come back in the fourth? I've not seen him in the fourth. This is the second. Is it the second game he has not played? Okay, there he is.
Right
Came
back
in.
on
He
the
actually
floor doing
came
the
in.
same thing he's been doing all night.
Yeah, he did.
Seriously, when you think about him as a
It
player,
was the
I'm
Golden
not gonna
State
ask you
Warriors
the
game
question,
where he didn't
as
play in the
Sabonis
fourth.
knocks
A
down
minute
the
in the
three.
fourth. He didn't step on court in the
Nope.
fourth because the game was done
Second
and
chance,
dusted
though, off
by
the
then.
Westbrook rebound. DeRozan finally, yes, the floor.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. They didn't come back. The game actually just went away from them. The Denver Nuggets are going to go on a heater and they will finish it. That's Nikola Jokić. That was the first nail in the coffin. And of course,
it's been going
that
uphill
was
for
it. It ended 22-108. And Nikola Jokić right there
that kind of night.
finishing it off. All right, so those were the games on the night, and of course, I had Nikola Jokić in my team. Score gave me 70 points. Minyo gave me 4. VJ Edgecombe gave me 21. AJ Mitchell 30, and of course Tyrese Maxey 47 fantasy points. So Tyrese Maxey is the one I brought in. I switched Reeves because I got wind of the LeBron return, so I do not want the ruckus that he's going to come with, mess up the team and all that, so I just sold out and quickly. So the Denver Nuggets have a back-to-back, so Nikola is in. I don't know if he will play. I hope he does play. If he doesn't, we shall arrange for that. So Mignon gets onto the bench. Mignon, you're gonna take a back seat. Okay, so Jules Holiday, VJH comes out, Tyrese Maxey is also out. I think I'll bring in. Okay, so that's how we sit. Even on the bench, I think this is the order that I would want. Kirk Burney, I really hope. So between Kirk Burney can go off actually. I think George should be a safer bet. Let me go with George and Cockburn. Should any of these not play? Or I play 3 at the back. Bench AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell, they're going to have a back to back. Back to back, but then they're playing against the Lakers. This is going to be a good one to watch. The Lakers taking on OKC. If the Lakers can beat OKC, they will definitely, and it's even the best time to play before LeBron returns. I really hope LeBron doesn't return in this one, so that we can really see the Lakers at their best. So I do not know, should I think George is a starter. Yeah, George is a starter. So I'm going to put George in for AJ Mitchell. Okay, AJ Mitchell will be on the bench. Capdoni. Okay, so that's it. That's the squad. George, Nikola Jokić, Victor Wembanyama, Jules Holiday, and Rollins right there. So let's save that. And that's right about it, everybody. And of course, we are going into game day 3. And that's right about it. Just a look at LeBron's return date. Can you guess who the player of the day was as we look for LeBron? Just a short second from here. We're seeing people getting Jaquez, Kim and Castle Stefan, and also Luca. I think preparing for the game against OKC. Okay, so just a look at the injury report. This is LeBron James. Let's see. He's expected to be back on the 18th. This is terrible. He could actually come back in this game. Okay, see. This is terrible. Let him stay there a while longer. Let him stay there a while longer because I would really love to see this game with the Lakers at their best, which I do believe they are at the moment without him around. But anyway, let's wait and see. So you guessed who the player of the night was. Oh wait, I didn't actually update this. I need to update this. This is from yesterday. Just give me a few seconds right here. Oh no, okay. Just hold on. Just hold on. I'm just going to upload it. I forgot to upload the resource. So you will pardon me right there. Sorry, it's a rookie move. But it is this man right here. As it uploads shortly, then the two. Nikola Jokić. Right there. That's Nikola Jokić for you. He is our player of the night. Of course, it was Denver at Sacramento. And of course, they managed to win that one 120 to 108. Nikola Jokić scoring 37 in this one, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 0 blocks, 2 steals, and 70 fantasy points, which brought up his points per average, putting him at 26.2, 13.6 rebounds per game, and 11.4 assists per game. Still averaging a triple-double, which makes him a rare species. And of course, on the leaderboard table, Nikola Jokić is currently sitting at 11th place right there. So he's not far off into the top 10. It's just a matter of games right there for Nikola Jokić. So that wraps up our update today. Make sure you have those teams set in. If you find this information interesting and helpful for you, please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Please keep them coming in. It's early days for me. I'm just starting up, and of course I keep on improving the content as you can see the evolution that we're going through. I decided to start, and of course as we grow together. So thank you all. It's your boy Ivies, and I'm out.